Yes.
Yes, we're back
Back
to
on the
good.
horse there.
I'm sorry. Even though you had to do a few extra bops, I think did you make it? Did you get through that?
I don't know. My shoulders are kind of sore.
So guys, sorry.
I got some
Uh,
bop related soreness that I got to work through. Maybe get in the ice bath after we're done here.
little overwork injury for the fans. We had some production issues. Again, the producers falling down on the job. Some sound difficulties. So we had to overly bop at the beginning. And Nat, as always, repping the old man game, complaining about the extra pop. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry to the fans for your reduced conditioning to start
Hopefully, I
the
don't
show.
have to take any load management next week.
We've had a lot of load management this season. I think
I
we can
can only
safely
do 4 bops. That's all I got in me.
I think we can safely get to the end of the season with the load management we've done.
Call me 4 bop Nat.
Ooh, 4 bop Nat. Hey, we didn't even have it planned, but like with that, I have to say, 2 move Amy's up to I think 3 moves.
Ooh.
Let's go to the tape. I have to check because I know she made one, and I communicated with her offline to make sure she understood the implications of her move because she picked up Mr. Mason Plumley, who I was like, this is not
Who
the
is
best
on a
move.
different team now.
Yes, and not so three. She's up to 3 moves. Yes, 3 move Amy. A new record, I think, a new record for Amy. Uh, but is outside the bubble. As the fans remember last week, we've already proven wrong as both you and I were defeated last week.
Yeah.
The bubble is
Perhaps
tougher.
our takes are not impartial.
Uh, that that itself is a hot take. I don't know about that one. That's strong feelings there. So, uh, we didn't prep this, but how do you feel? Are you worried now? Last week felt like a must win to
Yeah,
me.
I needed that one. And I'm done if I lose this week.
Who do you got this week?
Uh
Ooh, that's so well. Yeah, if you lose this one,
I
you're
had
both.
3 scratches on Monday night. That did not help.
Yeah, this one's this the Super Bowl on the brain. The All-Star Weekend abridged week is always a tough one because people are just like randomly not playing and
Yep.
it's always a mess. And like all of my Raptors only have one game, which is a problem.
Hmm.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, I think unless I think my chances are low here.
So you're gonna have to start prepping for your playoff heckling then.
Yes, I can
So
definitely do some playoff heckling.
excellent. I
Mhm.
expect I expect strong performances of your heckling during the playoffs if you do not make it. So don't disappoint me. You've had plenty of load management. We'll reduce the bopping even if need be.
All right. So
For
I
strong
can so
heckling.
I can be prime like Kawhi Leonard in on the court heckling.
Yes. Wait, does he heckle
No,
or just equivalent?
my heckling is the equivalent of his defense.
Okay, that's good.
The heckling claw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, Other than that, I think we're in a general stasis. Joe continues to run away with it, which is really depressing.
Everyone
Uh,
else is 500.
Everyone else is 500 roughly.
That's 7 teams at approximately 500. So that's another reason I don't have a lot of faith that I have a chance because everyone just keeps beating each other. It's just like win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
Some extreme parity here,
Yep.
minus Joe. So at this point, if Joe doesn't win the title, we get to laugh at him brutally for choking. I think we're in choke territory now, for the runaway favorite. So that might be even better. It might even make me feel better because instead of just like winning barely, now it's like if he loses, it's like hard choke. So like,
Yeah, but what if he doesn't?
I
Probably
mean,
won't.
he probably won't. Like the only chance at this point, is if his insanely strong lineup falls apart because of not playing or shutdowns, which I think is the only chance we have. But he's got too many lottery wins I think for anybody to overcome him, and he's leading in like every category. So
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But last, that's boring talk. Uh, we lamented last week, as the fans remember, about the dearth of any interesting trade movement, and then
Well, we were a little early on that one.
We were a little early because the floodgates open in ways nobody was predicting. And
Did Durant trade happen later in the night after we recorded, or was it the next day? Was it Wednesday or was it Tuesday?
next day, right? Like
Yeah,
Wednesday
I think it
morning.
was
It
Wednesday.
definitely after the show because the only one that we had
Right, but
was
was it like the same night? Did we do it? That's what I was curious about. But I think it was in the morning the next day.
don't remember. Yeah, it was at night because I remember right because it was night you had gone to bed in the central time zone
Right, and then the whole world exploded,
and
like
then
you said.
everything exploded. So it was at
Yes, and
night.
I woke up to 200 messages in our group chat.
Yes. So we talked a little bit about Kyrie, but we're gonna break down the big ones, and who wins and losers here, both for the team and the player. So fantasy team, we'll go look at that, and then the actual player. And so I think so. We'll start with the big ones, the big boys, from the Nets. So Durant, what do you got? So still hurt. Does he even have a timeline for returning at all
Post
anyway?
All-Star break is the general idea.
Post All-Star break, but like
I
no
mean,
clear.
it's, he'll probably be, I would not be surprised if he's back for that February 24th game.
So if you are first their fantasy owner, Bathroom of the Paris, who has been up and down this season, mostly on the back of whether Durant plays. How are you feeling about this trade?
I don't think it really makes a difference. I think he's just going to do what he does no matter what. Like, he's going to go get 30 something points, close to 10 rebounds, several assists, and some stocks every night, no matter who he plays with. Um, It's
Uh,
just a matter of being healthy and available. If he can be healthy and available, and that Phoenix training staff has worked some miracles over the years. Like I'm sure it's a different training staff now than like the staff that rehabilitated Grant Hill and
that is
turned
old.
him into a good player again. But
That staff needs their own staff at this point, probably. If they
correct. But I don't think there's a whole lot of difference for him. I think what maybe will be different is everybody else will maybe be slightly diminished.
it it is interesting. I didn't realize he also has Chris Paul. So like this is actually an interesting dynamic. So
I think I think honestly, this of all the Phoenix players, Chris Paul benefits the most
I think that's true.
because he's declining offensively, like right, very, very much so, and I think this allows him to kind of step back and do more playmaking and facilitating. And I think you'll see a jump in his efficiency, and I think he'll get more assists, and I think he'll probably get to play fewer minutes as a result, which is probably good. Like they need to limit that, but Phoenix is not like so far like they're probably going to be one of the better teams if their people are on the floor, but like it's still going to be really hard to like rest anyone because
Yeah.
it's not like they're way ahead of anyone. Like 2 bad weeks and they're down in the play-in again.
Oh man, my
Your
video's all
face is
messed up
freaking out
again.
again.
I don't know what's going on with that. That's
Oh,
really
that's a really
annoying.
bad one.
That is not great. It's
That's
not
really
great.
bad.
I don't even know why it's doing it. Like, it's not like anything else cuts out for me. It's really weird. Uh, as the fans, my favorite whipping boy of all things basketball is the bench. This bench is the worst in the league now? Like, I mean,
No, I
no?
disagree. Okogie is a good player.
He's gonna start. He's probably gonna start.
TJ Warren. No, he won't. TJ Warren's a good player. Well, maybe he would. It's
I think he's gonna start.
the big four in him, maybe the
Yeah,
big four or Torrey Craig. One of
it's
those
one
two.
of those two.
Torrey Craig's a guy. Like Okogie's a guy. TJ Warren's a guy. Shamit's a guy. Like they have players. Campaign, he can play. Like they don't have any studs, but like these are all NBA players on their bench. They're still better bench than like the Lakers, or well, not now
Not
because
anymore.
the whole league decided to give away good role players to them for nothing. But I think
Man.
the person, I don't know, tell me if you disagree. From a fantasy perspective, I think Aiton takes the biggest hit, It looks like your frozen dummy face is nodding. So I will take
No,
that as an affirmation.
I mean, I think Booker obviously takes a huge hit. Like he was he was like the primary option on that team, and now he goes to like way the second option. I'm gonna have to stop my video for a second. I'm gonna see if that fixes it. So I think Booker takes a huge. I mean, I think they both take a huge hit, but like I don't see Booker scoring 30 points again for the rest of the season. Like that's a rare game when Durant doesn't play. But with Durant's on
Yeah,
the court, I don't think that
I don't know
happens.
if I agree with that.
Well,
Uh,
we'll see. That's all. I don't.
yeah,
I
I think Booker will continue to get his, and I think he will now not be guarded by the best player on the other team, which
That's probably
is
fair.
a boost. And he'll probably get more open. He's not going to be like he's going to be more efficient, I
I
think.
I
Anything that drops off on hit, like playing with Durant, like is just easier. Like he's not one of these guys who you have to really do anything. Like he's just so malleable that everyone plays well around him because he does literally everything. And despite like some of the things about him, his personality and everything, he's not a selfish ball player. He's a very unselfish ball player. And he legitimately makes the people around him better. And so I think everyone will get some kind of boost playing with him.
Yeah, like Aiton is still the only big man on the team, and
Yeah.
he's still gonna be doing the only big man stuff. Like Durant might get some more boards than I don't know Bridges did, but like not many more. And like Aiton's still gonna be rim protecting and getting most of the rebounds and like setting picks and like doing
I
that
could
stuff.
see some scenarios in which they do more small ball.
It's pop.
Like I could see small ball five Torrey Craig for stretches. I don't know if they do much of that now.
I don't think they can do that. I don't think they have the personnel to do that
Yeah.
roster.
Because Durant has played small ball five plenty in his life
Sure.
too. And so like I could see some of that. I think this unlocks more things for them. They can do more things than they could before because Durant is so flexible.
Fair. All right. So moral story. Marginal, maybe losers, but not really. Everybody wins. Boring.
Sorry.
I still think the Suns are going to struggle because I think they're going to like not have players, and if Durant doesn't play, they are really hosed because
Yeah, I
that
mean,
team is bad.
Durant and Paul are very risky to miss basically every other game.
Yeah,
So yeah. So there goes your Booker. Like he'll have plenty of opportunities, and when those guys aren't out, he's gonna have to go score 50.
yeah,
So maybe
that's probably
he'll
true.
be even better.
All right. Well, let's move on. Irving, we kind of talked a little bit about this, but
Ugh,
we got a couple games in, and it's not going terribly though. They're losing, but he's putting
shocking.
up a lot of counting stats because there's nobody else on that team anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about nobody else on the team?
Yeah, like
That
this fair. That's true. I was premature. Although they got like Christian Wood is a guy, as we've discussed many times.
I do
But
love
this
Christian Wood.
but the starting five is pretty bad.
Josh Green is a promising young player, but like, you probably don't really want promising young players around Luca. That's not really the lineup you're going for. Tim Hardaway Jr. is black hole. Kyrie is black hole. Like
Set
Luca
hold
black
on.
hole.
Second guys on these depth charts, people I've literally never heard of, such as Theo Pinson, not a
North
real
Carolina
name,
great Theo Pinson.
and Jaden Hardy. These are made up names in
He's good.
NBA
No, he's a
2K.
rookie. He's a rookie. He's good.
Ugh,
I
these are
like
made
him.
up names.
Uh Everyone's named Jaden and Jalen these days. There's like
That's true.
90% of league is either Jaden or Jalen. Uh yeah, I mean I hate this trade from a basketball perspective for Dallas and from a, on court, off court perspective in every way.
What
I
sucks
think
too is I think it's actually going to be a wash statistically for the player, which means Joe will probably still be good, which triple
yeah,
sucks.
Kyrie is not going to get any worse. In fact, might get better.
Yeah, makes me
Hard
sad.
to say. What's because he'll at least have more space because he's not gonna have to deal with like the Ben Simmons Claxton situation on the Nets, so he'll have a lot more space.
Yeah, I could see both of them actually basically keeping their production and getting more efficient, if anything, because they'll have each other to like ward off defenders similarly, but then also lose every game.
Yes, please. I don't know if there's any team I'm rooting against more now than them.
They really have become the nexus of hatred, like them
They've
and the
got
Lakers.
some burgeoning villainy going on that team. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who they could sign to complete their heel
Beverly.
turn. Beverly,
Beverly.
yes, Beverly.
Oh
Beverly
man.
completes the heel turn.
Beverly and like they wouldn't do it, but Ben Simmons would be hysterical at that point. There's got to be one other person, some gnarly big like they need a Morris. They need
Yeah,
a
definitely
Morris
need a
brother.
Morris. Yeah.
And who's like the dirtiest center, big center now? Who's like
Can they pull Zaza Pachulia out of retirement and like run him the
ah
five so he can go hurt Kawhi again?
from the depths. Who is like the dirtiest? I'm trying to think. McGee's still out there. They go get McGee.
No,
Uh
he's already on that team.
oh, that's right. Ah, it's terrible.
Well done.
Oh, forgot. Oh, so let's not continue down that path. We already know it's bad. So, again, unfortunately, bad for the team, we think, but good for the player, good for fantasy, which means bad for everybody because means Joe's still good. So that's all sad all around in the Kyrie trade. Next up, I'm gonna bucket the three new Nets. So Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie. What are the new look Nets with Ben Simmons reduction in playtime going further and further down? How do you feel about the Nets?
Well, as the Ben Simmons owner of the league,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said in our group chat I'm probably the last one on the bandwagon, and I'm planning my exit as well. I don't know, his head just isn't in it. It's very clear. Like, I
Yeah,
think I don't know why or what is happening. Like, man, like, I don't know if he's seeing like a sports psychologist or something like that, or if it's just like a question of doesn't really like basketball that much. Um, and that's always been kind of a whisper about him, that he's only playing it because like he has such God-given talent for it. But man, I don't know. I don't know about him. To me, the winner is Bridges out of this. Um, though he was killing it before he got traded.
he was having
So
a very good season, like a very good season.
yeah.
Um, I actually don't know. I think he'll maintain. Like is he the guy? He's kind of the guy
He's the
now.
best player on the team, and it's either him or Claxton are the two best players.
Yeah. So I think he
The
continues
team is
his.
going to be a terror on defense. Like,
Yeah,
that is not going to be a enjoyable team to play against. Like, they might not win a ton of games, but like, man, they will be not fun to play against.
I think that's correct. I'm sad because I had Royce. He's definitely going to be useless now. And then I think a lot of the guys that they had like that were sort of marginal plays are no longer real good plays. I think Claxton again to Joe's favor will just like eat like more calories for Claxton, and then I mean I still like
I think
Dinwiddie's.
Dinwiddie will get a nice boost.
I think yeah Dinwiddie's going to become I think like a very
He'll be the
strong.
de facto scorer. Like, since they've already shown that like they're not going to play, like that Cam Thomas has gone back to being a bench player, so his streak of like 40 plus point games ended because he went back to 20 minutes a game,
Hmm.
which seems not like a good idea. It seems like they should be developing him.
I mean, is he still play? Is he still like a second option? Yeah, I mean he'll probably get. That seems gonna be weird. I think there's gonna be a lot of figuring out who's actually the rotation for a while. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
and their grade is incomplete. Like, they're clearly have more they're gonna do. But they're
so
they're almost like net positive on picks now at this point, based on like everything that they gave away to Houston versus what they got back. Like, obviously the picks aren't as good if they end up being bad because it's their own picks that they lose. But um I was I was reading something, and someone supposedly someone offered 4 picks for Bridges and they said no. So
I think that's a good pick. Like, I mean, if you look at this roster now, like you've got some olds that are gonna clearly get jettisoned in the summer, like Curry,
yeah,
Harris, Patty, and then this is a young, spunky team, and they need like a star, and they dump Simmons, and like this is a good team. Like
problem is they might have to attach some of those picks to dump Simmons.
probably. When's he contracted till?
He has 2 years at 40 per, I think.
Buy that shit out. Oh man,
Not really how it works.
fine. So this will be an interesting. They have a lot more moves to do in the summer. It'll be interesting to see what they do. They have like a very interesting youngish core that they could build around if they chose to.
Nets need to stop doing star trades because they're very good at having spunky, young, fun core teams. Like that team they had a few years ago with like D'Lo and Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen. That was such a fun team. And they should stop being dumb and be more fun.
I agree. I was thinking the coach is pretty good, and so like they just should like stick with him and like let him work
They
that
seem to
team.
be decent at drafting too. Like, obviously they don't have great picks right now, but like they've made some really nice draft picks the last few years when they have.
Agree. All right. Enough about like big teams with like ambition. My next one, dark horse friend of the show, Mo Bamba.
Obama.
Mo Bamba now a Laker, which is like
Yes,
hard to even
like
imagine.
everybody else.
Mo Bamba also suspended for fighting with Austin Rivers, which I think makes him the hero of this show sort of forever.
I think he's now the most popular player in the league. like LeBron saw that and he's like, that's my guy right there. I want that guy on my team. Like, let's go get him.
So main question, will Mo Bamba play at all on the Lakers?
Yes.
And will he actually be fantasy viable playing on the Lakers?
I think yes, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to know because like they've been at their I'm gonna keep beating the Davis should always play center drum. So like that's why he's been so good. This in your head's freaking out again.
I know it's
That's
gone.
why he's been so good all season is because they've played him almost exclusively at center.
Yes.
The thing that any rational basketball person has been asking them to do for 5 years has been asking him to do for 5 years. They finally did it, and he's killing everybody. So I don't think you start Mo Bamba next to him because then that nerfs his center power.
Yeah.
But I think he's the Thomas Bryant replacement.
They got Vanderbilt too, though, right? Like Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he's more 3-4. Like he's more 4-ish. I think you'd be more likely to see him in. Well, no, because he doesn't really shoot the three. It's kind of an awkward. Yeah, that's kind of awkward getting them both.
Mm-hmm.
What's like their starting lineup now? Like,
like
Davis, Rui, like LeBron, D'Lo,
Schroeder,
and Schroeder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great still. It's still not
weird
great.
Lineup. It's a weird lineup.
And so like I think they could decide to play like Vanderbilt instead of Rui. So like Rui, Vanderbilt, and Bamba seem to be like some sort of weird rotating triangle of bigs.
Yeah, and like never will they all be healthy at the same time, so
Yeah.
it probably will work itself out.
Yeah, they don't like because Russell's not good. They don't really have like
It's not good.
basket scorers in
Schroeder can get you some buckets sometimes
in the backcourt.
Beasley is like a great microwave shooter, but he's not like a bucket getter. But yeah, they're kind of they really could have they would really like Clarkson back. I think they miss him real bad right now.
Yeah, probably that's probably true.
Just imagine all of those like LeBron plus all the guys they traded. I know we've said this before, but like Ball, Clarkson, Ingram, LeBron. Jeez.
That would be like
Josh Hart, like so many like that's just a ridiculous team.
Yeah,
thank God that he's such a bad GM.
It is the only dig on his goatness that is his apparently terrible influence on team decision making.
Can we segue into other players who are bad GMs and start that list with Paul George? who
Oh, is I didn't realize he had ascended to that function. Do
he is
tell.
currently publicly agitating for them to pick up Westbrook. Um, and that seems like the worst idea ever.
Hold on. I don't even know who like is. Hold on. Let me look up this team because I actually don't even know their roster anymore. They made so many moves. Uh, who? So yeah, Mans and Highland. Yeah, I mean they're not stars, but like they shouldn't need them to be stars with the rest of the team. Uh, wow. Yeah, Westbrook would not be good on that team.
No,
They just need like a competent like 10 assist a game guy, like not 8 to 9
well,
assist a game
I mean
guy.
there aren't that many of those,
Yeah,
but
I that's why I
that's a
revised my
that's a
projection.
top five point guard. Yes, they could use a top. I mean, Westbrook is an 8 to 9 assists per game guy, so he checks that box.
Fair. Uh, yeah, like they because like George brings
They
the
don't
ball up,
need.
Kawhi brings the ball up. Like,
They clearly have run their team for years with the idea that they don't need a pure point guard, and I think that's correct. I don't think they really do. Um, but I'd rather have Terrence Mann out there playing really good defense.
I mean, if anybody, I'm replacing like Morris before I replace one of those point guard guys, like in terms of like
Yeah.
impact to the team, because yeah, that they
And I
have.
could see small lineups with like no Morris, or no Zubats, and have like Eric Gordon or Powell in there. Like, I don't know. Clippers, it's just too hard to ever judge them because they've never really been together at the same time, and they may never be together at the same time. So it may all just be a wash, and none of it really matters because Kawhi and George can't stay healthy long enough to compete.
So on while we're on this topic, uh, Bones, one of the guys that moved, kind of
I
big at
hate
the
the
beginning of the
Bones.
season. Do you buy him off the wire? Does he have potential on his new team? Will he maybe take the starting spot? Will he fill in for all the broken
I
people that
think if you
often?
need threes and scoring, he could definitely be a guy down the stretch. I like it. I mean, and his name is Bones. I mean, how can you not like that? Like,
Gotta
come
love the
on.
bones. Got ate the bones. Don't eat the bones. Gotta
I
love the
kind of
bones.
like. I really liked what the Clippers did. Honestly, I think they turned like a couple of good NBA players into a couple of other good NBA players, but I think they turned players that didn't really fit into players that do fit. Like Eric Gordon's one of those guys who fits anywhere and, could win you a playoff game. Plumlee finally gives them a backup big. And he's, as in a fantasy world, he's a very good at starting center, but in an NBA world, he's not. So
Mm.
him as a backup is ideal, but he's a good backup.
I think
And
I think the key for them will just be figuring out their rotation. Like they have they have lots of pieces, almost too many pieces now, and they got to figure out what actually works together and how to put a game together. That I think they could do it, and they could be, there's 8 to 10 guys on this team now, pretty solidly of decent. Like it reminds me, not quite. They don't have quite the star power. Like I mean, they could if everybody's healthy, but like the classical Warriors second unit from their glory days where they rolled out Barbosa and like Livingston and those guys. I feel like this team has that capability with their second unit. Pretty like they have like a very potentially good chemistry second unit out there.
yeah,
If they
there's
can
no
figure it out.
Iggy sitting back there as a potential defensive player of the year coming off the bench, but your point makes, yeah, I
Fine.
agree. Uh,
Hey, I got thank you. I got some recognition. It's
you
good.
got it. Oh, what was I gonna say? The one thing that they definitely, I think they wanted Mike Conley a lot,
Mm.
and I think that would have made a lot of sense. Like
That would make a lot of sense.
that's your guy for like just is a good point guard.
That would have been perfect. Perfect pick. Yeah, that's the perfect pickup that would have made it that they needed.
All right.
Dependable, like leader-ish guy, not gonna be out there lighting up the world, but like doing his job, grinding it
So
out.
let's keep talking about Westbrook because it's hilarious.
I was gonna
Current
save it. Okay,
current member of the Utah Jazz, for now. Uh, what would be the most hilarious outcome of his season to you? And then I'll tell you mine.
okay, so like define hilarious. Okay,
Where
Oh,
would you be most entertained if the following actions occurred? What would you like to see happen?
most entertaining, I think. Most just like hilarity would be back on the Lakers, like because that would just be
Oh, that would be
insanity.
fantastic.
It would just be insanity. Um, the second most would be just some like the Knicks or something, or like the Knicks, or who's like a mildly contending team that
Atlanta.
oh God, well there's just no world where that happens, but it would be funny. Um,
No, no world.
yeah, they have like three major point guards. They have too many point guards.
Yes.
Miami could have, right? Is Miami a legitimate destination? Like,
Yes.
I think it's actually a legitimate destination, which actually might work for
If
that team.
anyone could actually like figure out the fit, it would be them because Spoelstra is so
Spoelstra.
good and he knows how to deal with those like undealable personalities.
I actually think Miami could happen. Just like not hilarious at all. Um, and very sad for me. Like the Bulls rumors have been very strong.
Now
And
that it would be hilarious.
I know that's probably, is that your answer?
Yes.
So
Mostly
let me
because like he supposedly he did not like Billy Donovan at all when he came in to coach OKC, and it's like, oh, now we're gonna willingly go back to him. Uh,
Donovan's not the best coach in the world. I mean, he's fine. He's passable. I wouldn't be surprised. Uh, I am of two minds of this. The first mind is like, please God no, because it's
it's like that Michael Scott. No, no, God, no.
because like legitimately there's two outcomes. One, him and DeRozan could very easily kill each other because like they're
They're
like
LA Bros.
either they kill each other but their playing style like oh God, it just could become so bad basketball. Or somehow it works and like it actually is like the square peg in like the sort of rhomboid hole, like where it's the closest fit. And if they get him cheap, because ball's obviously broken, but like it's still sort of like what's the point? Because it won't make them a contender. Like it won't win them a playoff series. So like why bother? Like I don't know, man. This sucks.
Everything sucks. I agree. Um,
But he'd start, which is the like,
yeah,
which also sucks because like I love Dosunmo. He's just not the same. He's not the like he's not a starting point guard for that team that they need. So Westbrook would totally start just like on Miami. I think he's starting. Uh,
I don't
but
know. Lowry would that would be a
oh
weird
yeah, Lowry.
thing.
He doesn't play. He's so often he's hurt.
He's
Um,
very old.
and I think actually Westbrook is what that team needs a little bit, which is scary. Any team
I
needs
mean,
some
they need
pizzazz.
someone who can shoot a shot from more than 8 feet away. So in that way,
Fair.
he is
Well,
not
Lowry
that
doesn't
good.
do that either.
No, no, he does.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a 3-point shooter. Yeah.
Do you have any other pile-ons to the to your desired hilarity outcome beside on the Bulls?
Well, no, but I think we should talk about the teams that didn't do anything for a minute.
Like the Bulls?
Like
Like
the
the
Bulls,
sad broke ass Bulls?
I see you're in high spirits.
It's
I
so
know we couldn't
dumb.
even I know we couldn't even find any fake trades to fix them. And that can't be positive.
No, it was dumb.
Yeah. It's they're not in a great spot, but they'll be after this season, they have all their picks back. And so you can start thinking about whether you want to go all in or tear it down or do something, not live in this weird no man's land of nothingness.
Yeah, we've discussed at length the issues there. So next team.
Yeah. Toronto.
Toronto got
Oh,
Pirtle.
man. Like, no, yes, but why? They did exactly the opposite of what they were supposed to do.
I, I don't I have I think I'm on the record, and the fans can hold me accountable. I think I'm on the record as not really ever understanding these trade scenarios. Um, because we've always talked about how all these guys are on good contracts that like they should take advantage of, not necessarily trade. And I do think they're kind of a big man away. Um, I, I mean like that getting Pirtle is trying to go for it, right? They think they
Sure.
can maybe make a run. And so if it doesn't work, then they blow it up in the offseason. But like I I understood the value propositions of the trades, but like as we've also said many times, like Toronto tries, and they're very much like not try trades, right? Like they're very much like we're not going to try anymore because we're going to
Yeah,
like
I mean they'd all be reset trades, and that's
yeah.
true. Toronto is not a reset team. They are a retool team.
And so I think the hope is they make the small change and maybe that unlocks the team because like they really shouldn't be as bad as they are, and they've been playing like yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm annoyed purely because now I have 4 Raptors. I have 4 out of 5 of the starters on my team now, and it's really annoying. Actually, it's probably bad because Trent Jr. will easily slide to the bench once everybody's healthy again. So I got to do something because now that might have sealed my fate for the playoffs because there's no way if I catch a 2-game week with the Raptors that I have any chance at all with doing anything.
Schedule becomes so important for you at the end.
Yeah, it's not great for me.
Like you got to start looking at that thing weeks in advance to figure it out.
Yeah, and decide to dump somebody. I got enough big men. I think I can hold on that. But like my guards are if I lose, really it comes when Butler plays. If I get like a full week of Butler and Murray now, I am very good.
Do
I
you
think
ever get full weeks of Butler?
like once, and
Yeah.
I obliterated that week. But that's my problem now. I
That's
have
the
too
problem
many.
with a player like that is
Yeah.
you can't get full weeks out of him.
I regret my draft a little bit in this regard, and I have actually, I mean, Gobert's not played a lot. I knew I was swinging with Time Lord, but now like I have 4 guys that are like 2 games a week guys. It sucks. Who
Yeah.
else? Who else didn't make moves that you're upset about?
Um, let's see. We talked about Bulls, Toronto. Those were kind of the big dominoes. Like, Portland, my Portland Trailblazers made moves. I'm not sure what the point of them was, but they did do moves.
You're not all in on future talent for 4 years, defensive stud Matisse Thybulle.
I mean, I like him. He is a good player. Um,
I've had this Westbrook logo up here too long. Got to change it.
yes, we don't need to stare at his face anymore.
I forgot it was there.
It's less like it's not an indictment of him. I think he was a very nice upside swing for the team.
Look at that line. Look at that debut line. I'm buying that line. I'm bye. I'm like bye
Yeah,
bye bye. I need my.
I picked him up just because why not? So I have a Blazer to cheer for on my team because
Yeah.
I don't have any others, and I'm pretty sure I'm doomed. So might as well just have some fun. And it looks like Dave might have just gotten hurt, so that's cool.
Sad face.
It's fine. I would be not unhappy if they missed the playoffs and got their shot again for Wemby.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I would be very much okay if Dame started to take back-to-backs off and Nurk maybe nursed that calf injury for a while and that sort of thing.
I mean, like yeah, with what they have, like they can't. I mean, they're barely at the play-in. Like they're gonna be lucky to get the play-in, even if they're trying.
And the Lakers are beneath them, and you have to assume there's well, no, you don't. They suck, but maybe
They're gonna try. They're certainly gonna try.
Yeah, they're gonna try, and Golden State, I'm sure has every motivation in the world now to knock Portland out of the playoffs because they hate them.
We didn't even have time to get into that one. Maybe we'll say
that's like we need like a whole separate episode for that, just so we can like unwind the entire possible like threads of this.
Next week is the All-Star break interregnum, so perfect timing, and we'll probably have more details.
I will start working on my cork board right now.
Yes, please. I demand string between thumbtacks on a board.
String. I'll put it up here in the guest bedroom and work on it all week. I'm sure my wife and children will very much appreciate that.
Just don't tell them what's going on.
when her friends show up to stay here this weekend and there's like a weird conspiracy board on the wall, no one will say anything. It's fine. It's fine.
And they'll not recognize like any of the pictures on there because it'll be like GMs and like back
No,
office
there's
staff
gonna be
from.
pictures they recognize. It's gonna be like, here's Gary Payton Jr. and here's Neil O'Shea and here's like Kate Middleton and here's Rihanna, pregnant Rihanna,
It's
and
all.
here's like it all intertwines.
Is that where we have to end? I think that's where we have to leave it. Or the only other person I had on my list to talk about was Jay Crowder, just whether or not he'll actually play basketball again.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Good. That's
Why do we care about Jay Crowder?
I
I
don't
never
know.
understood why we cared about Jay Crowder so much. Has he ever been more than the fourth best player on his team, the fifth best player on his team?
I don't know. Oh man, I'm glad I asked the question though. It's perfect. That's perfect. Thank
He'll
you.
end up somewhere on the cork board, I'm sure.
Ooh, commit to that. Commit to that. So in summary, all the trades basically make us sad and Joe better. Is that what we
From
can
a
summarize?
fantasy perspective, he definitely got some nice boosts.
Yeah, he did. I got
Um,
screwed. I think you also got screwed.
I think I don't think I needed the trades to be screwed, but they didn't help.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Wiseman. We'll save
Oh yeah,
Wiseman
we
for
do.
next time.
Yeah, we need to talk about
We
Wiseman.
didn't talk. Do we have? Oh, so we're gonna go into bonus time here.
He's gonna be like the central figure on the cork board.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
I want that. I want the core four better have a picture of him and a picture of next to him in Darko with like a question mark. Uh,
We'll just put like all of them, like
yes.
Darko, Sam Bowie, like all of the like ridiculous Thomas Robinson, all the ridiculous draft busts, Michael Kidd Gilchrist,
Yes.
Michael Candy. I don't know. I
Yes.
don't know. But I think the best part of that whole thing, just one thing to say about it is it's like it's both a indictment of the Warriors and like a point of respect that they were willing to just say, fuck it, we screwed up with this guy and ditch him, rather than have to figure out if they want to pay him or not. So I think in that regard, that was, the ability to just kind of not do like a sunk cost thing. I respect that. However, man, really fucked that one up.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. On that note, great place to end.
Yep.
Hating on the Warriors.
Love it. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
Please, dear God, don't let Westbrook get to the Bulls. Please. No, please. Just no. No, God. No.
All happening.
No. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. No. No.
They're playing